So, hello and welcome to KamenRider Blackman. Yeah, it's been a while. Like, I think a good 2 weeks, going on 3 weeks now since I uploaded a video. So, right now, I might as well say it. I'm sorry for, not posting for a while now. It's just, I've been busy lately with summer school and work, so yeah. So before getting into the video, I might as well just lay down a few things. One, expect maybe the most one video a week from now on, because I have like a lot on my plate right now. And two, that is a oh yeah, and two, while I am still doing the KamenRider ZO reviews, I may I don't know if for the season after ZO that I'll still be doing the reviews. So that's just a heads up there that while I'm going to keep doing the reviews until ZO is finished, I'm not too sure if I'll keep doing weekly episode by episode reviews, just so I can sort of do more on my own, so I can do more when I have the time to make videos, because because the whole idea for the week by week episode reviews are just for a way for me to get caught up with what's current right now, as well as just have content for my channel. And so right now, like I said, expect mostly one video a week, as well as, I don't know, if I don't do like the episode by episode reviews anymore, I will still do some reviews of some episodes if I ever have the time to do so. But as soon as I get away from that, I can put more content out, so I can focus on, so that way I can be more focused on the future with school and whatnot. And yeah, pretty much that. Because keep in mind, I do this primarily as a hobby. I don't get paid for it, although I wish I really did. And so yeah. Oh yeah, which brings me to another thing. For the last episode reviews of ZO that I did, I'm going to start doing them. Well, let me think about it. Now I just have more stuff to think about, because how I do the episode, I'm gonna do this video the way I did my last review. So I'm going to talk about the plots of episodes 37, 38, 39, and 40. Then talk about the good and bad in both of those arcs, because they're all combined together. And so, as of right now, I guess for the moment, I'm not too sure. I'll have to ponder it out to see if I'll still do week by week episode reviews or not. I'll think about it. But with that said, let's get on to the video, which is KamenRider ZO episodes 37 through 40. So, we are up to we are here. We're at that point now where we get his final form. But, of course, before then, we have to talk about the Kabuto tribute, episodes 37 and 38. It's a pretty simple episode, not too bad. It turns out, well, the worms are back and they're coming to Earth, and our previous riders returning are Kageyama, KamenRider Punchhopper, KamenRider Gatak, Arata Kagami, and So Yagaruma, KamenRider the Bee / Kickhopper, who is also our another writer in this episode, another Kabuto. So I guess since it's been a while since I've done this, let's talk about the design for another Kabuto. It's not bad. It's exactly how you would picture in another writer version of Kabuto. So it's pretty good. He also has Clock Up as well as other writer abilities. And so, like I said, the plot of the episode is basically that Kageyama is back as Punch Hopper as well as he is a worm since the actual KamenRider Punch Hopper has been dead for a long time now, since the end of Kabuto. So of course, this is a worm mimicking him, having his memories and whatnot. And Yagaruma finds him, and they're basically trying to bring hell to Earth. And they're basically trying to bring hell to Earth. And while Yagaruma is fully aware that Kageyama is a worm, he doesn't care because they're the Hell Brothers and whatnot. So they both look at each other as siblings. Now, Kagami's role in all this is that he has been tracking worm activity since the beginning of this episode, and has caught up to Kageyama. This is where also in this episode, I don't think I'm really going to go really further into detail. I'm really going to summarize this all. But moving on from there, meteorites are of course coming down to Earth, and the world's basically going to be taken over by worms. That's the whole big plan of 37 and 38. At one point at the clock shop, like Kagami explains both writers, and also mentions how really all of them were former members of Zect, which is actually pretty interesting because I guess the fact that Sogo or others didn't really know about Zect, which really gets me to thinking about how long ago 2006 really was. So I guess history on Zect it could have been recorded as part of like recent histories from the 2000s, because while I think about how Sogo's never heard of Zect before, my mind automatically goes to the fact that he one time Googled KamenRider Agito and got his restaurant instead. So records of Zect and whatnot should be up in the air for possibility. Now, while that's the plot, now to talk about the good and the bad and some neutral things about it. I didn't really write anything for good, so let's just skip ahead into episode 38. Wow. Now, coming off from episode 37, moving on forward, or at least I should mention this. I should go back to 37 to mention this. Towards the end of that episode, like, both Sogo and Waz do find Kageyama, and it's a trap actually meant for Kagami since he's been trailing them. And in episode 38, it reveals that Kagami's been captured by Kageyama. Now to talk about the good and the bad and what's neutral. Now, I didn't write anything for the good, so I'm just going to go into the bad. Decade Tsukasa is, of course, in both episodes, but he's there for Tsukuyomi's plotline, about her powers. Now it dates back to 2058 at this house where she's a child, and it's revealed that her and Schwartz are siblings. And not really I'm not really all in with that. Like, the fact that it's revealed that Tsukuyomi and Schwartz are siblings, it just feels so tacked on and such an easy route that they took. Because for starters, you're looking at that huge age gap right now. Like, Tsukuyomi is like a teenager, and Schwartz is most likely in like his mid or early 40s or mid 30s, and it doesn't really help that even in the flashback they show Tsukuyomi as a child and Schwartz as like a preteen. Like, he could be like 13 or 14 the most. Like, he could be 13 or 14 the most. It's like that age gap breaks my belief of it for me, as well as I just feel like them being siblings is just, it was too easy to just go with, it was just too easy to go with that. Like, if Schwartz turned out to be Tsukuyomi's father, maybe, and they did something around there, maybe she could have some hesitation because she's fighting her dad. That could be something. But siblings, like, there's not, it's just, you don't see much of a, you don't see much of a connection there, except for they both have the same kind of powers and haven't spent any real time together except for being enemies. So how could I sympathize there? And so next, this is now, I guess here's another part of the bad. Now, Yagaruma, Kickhopper, he knows that Kageyama, like Punch Hopper, is a worm, but yet his intentions are, he knows what he's doing is wrong, and so his intentions are to eventually, like, put him down and defeat him himself. Then why? I don't know. I guess it was almost somewhat of a trap or something. Like, as soon as it's going to happen, he stop him there. But I don't really know, because we don't really see it go too far. And all it does is just a mention. All it does is act as a somewhat paradigm between Gates and Sogo and their relationship. But all it does is get mentioned, and it doesn't really go anywhere because Yagaruma doesn't defeat him. Gates does. Because now that just answers the new question. Why would the Time Jackers give Yagaruma the another Kabuto ride watch if he didn't have all those full intentions? To which brings me to another thing. Like, he's not entirely committing to letting the worms take over the world, so Yagaruma could portray Kageyama. At that point, why not just give the ride watch to just Kageyama then? Because it sounds like he's going all for of destroying the world and whatnot. And the Time Jackers, they're not even fine with that plan. So why would they give him the watch? It's just, the rest of this overall, this episode is like, it's a bit fine, but for the antagonizing side, there are people against it, but yet they're supporting to let it happen. So it's pretty confusing, really. Like, if that was the case, then they should have given the another Kabuto ride watch to Kageyama, so that he can, since he has all the entire, since he plans to fulfill his goals. Now, another thing. Now, this next thing is, I feel a bit neutral about what happens next, because the whole point of the Kabuto arc is Kagami. He's there to stop the Hell Brothers, and all he can do throughout, or at least more that he does in like the second half of the arc, is sort of compare himself to Kabuto and how he can never reach up to him. And in the middle of the battle, the Kabuto Sector goes to Kagami, which is how they also get the Kabuto ride watch. And so then Kagami becomes KamenRider Kabuto and beats another Kabuto. Watching this for the second time now, I could be a little more lenient. Like, when I saw scans of it online, I just asked, why, really? Like, to get the Kabuto ride watch? Okay, sure. But now that just leads me to just another thing about how the secondary ride watches are just useless against another riders. But furthermore, Kagami is a warrior. It's not the gear that makes you more powerful. It's you. You pushing yourself to do your best is what makes you powerful. Like, I didn't think it should have been about a switch of gear, because I actually like the KamenRider Katak suit, and I like it a bit more than the Kabuto suit. So if he had just beaten another Kabuto, like, as Gatak, that would have been, thinking about it now, it would have created some inconsistencies about, like what I just said, only main rider powers can defeat another riders. But before then, it would just be like, it feels like sort of unnecessary. Like, yeah, great, Kagami finally gets to be Kabuto, but he was just so great as he was as Gatak. And I'm not biased towards Gatak or anything, but Gatak is Kagami becoming his own. That's what my thing is. And this is why I'm pretty neutral about it, because he finally gets what he wants, good for him. But he was doing so fine in my opinion before getting the Kabuto sector, is what I'm saying. So I guess, so they can get the Kabuto ride watch, okay, that makes sense. And on second watch now, I understand it a bit more. Now, another thing that's neutral about this is that what Yagaruma wanted, like hanging out with Kageyama, that's temporary. Because he wants to, because he doesn't want the world to be destroyed by worms, yet they're just spending time together, I guess, giving them some more, I guess, having more bonding time, I guess. I guess it's them having more bonding time. So, alright, because they did have a connection. All, it's so weird, because I was making notes about this while watching that episode, but saying it out loud, I think about it a bit more. But anywho, episodes 37 through 38, they're They're not bad. I want to say they're about average or above average, maybe, because of the different things going on with the villains. Like, Yagaruma is the another writer for this episode, and he's siding with Kageyama. That's a worm, and he wants all these worms to basically destroy the world. The Time Jackers are against that, and the Time Jackers are against that, and even help out Gates and Wall, and even help out Sogo and Waz, because they both got 2 ride watches stolen, the Gingo ride watch and the Forze ride watch, and so they get their watches stolen. Wool is the one who freezes time to steal the watches from them. Then eventually Schwartz gives the watches. Then eventually the watches go to Schwartz. Then Schwartz gives them to Skomi, and then they go back to them. It's like, there was, like, for the protagonist, this is good. Kagami gets what he finally wanted, to be Kabuto and be powerful and know his ground as a warrior. But the antagonizing side with the villains was just, it was too conflictive. It was too conflicting. Now, for episodes 39 and 40, the plots of the episode. Now, for episodes 39 and 40, they're all very close to collecting all of the main Heisei Rider ride watches. So all they need now is Den-O. They're close to getting Den-O because now we get another Den-O. And so as they go out to stop another Den-O, we also see KamenRider Zeranos in this episode, as well as all of the Imogens, of course. Yeah, alright. So, here's the central plot right now. They're close to getting all the ride watches, and then Sogo will get this ultimate power. But now Zeranos is there to stop Sogo from obtaining that ultimate power, so that he doesn't become Omazeo. So, this is about the same for episodes 39 through 40. So, let's talk about the good and the bad and the neutral. The good. The Den-O time travel aspect in this arc was actually done right, in my opinion, because I don't really like the Den-O time travel aspect in the show, because the activity is that when an Imogen possesses a host, they then go back in time to a specific moment in time and just destroy shit and cause problems. They just run around causing destruction and whatnot. And it just makes me look and go, okay, why can't you just do this in the present, though? Like, it's just so stupid and pointless. And, like, yeah, I know, Den-O's a comedy, but it still just doesn't make any sense. Anywho, but the time travel aspect in Zeo was priceless, because another Den-O is... Another Den-O is the brother of a sister who died, and I believe I believe he blames her boyfriend for her death, because the sister was in critical condition and she wasn't gonna make it. And so, for a final request, the boyfriend wanted the sister to take her outside to go sightseeing at this one site that she's never went to before. The brother finds out about this, and when the sister dies, he blames the boyfriend, but in reality, the boyfriend was fulfilling his girlfriend's final request, and she didn't want the brother to know about it. She didn't want the brother. She did not want the brother to end up hating her boyfriend because they're good friends. And the boyfriend just takes it, saying that saying that he would rather have the brother hate him and blame her for her death than have the brother just be upset because she didn't want that. That was the most touching thing I've ever seen and heard. Like, ever. It made me want. I took a pause in I took a pause in my mind to process all that, and I just go, anywho, anything else that's the plot. I really liked it. It was really touching, and oh my god, it just made me, and it was sweet. Imagine that in real life, how sweet that was. It was good shit. Now for the second part of the good. In the first art in episode 39, when Zeranos shows up, the episode actually acknowledges that Junichi Nakamura, Zeranos, was both characters like Yuto and Curia from Hibiki, because we're just coming from the Hibiki tribute, and oh my god, it made me laugh. Yeah, it made me laugh. And alright, we're at it. We're now at the bad. Number 1 on the bad, the Imogens. The Imogens are there, and they don't do anything special except for Momotaro's. They're there because the den liner then breaks down, and so I really don't like the Imogens. Especially Momotaro's, because he's the most loud, and I don't like loud. He's loud, a bit he's loud. He's like a big walking Neanderthal, basically. And here's gonna this breaks me. No. Let me explain the second part. The second part of this. Sogo's uncle should have freaked the fuck out when he saw the Imogens. No. He should have freaked the fuck out when he saw the Imogens. Because I'm sorry. You now see these, this draws the line, and they say that they know Sogo. No. This draw, no. This is, no. This is completely far-fetched. I live in New Jersey. This is far-fetched all the way to Maine. There should be questions, what the hell are you? What the hell is this red fucking Angry Elmo thing? What the hell? What the hell? And the thing is, they need the uncle to fix the den liner, a time machine train that apparently has the same type of systems as a clock. It's just throughout this two-parter, I just don't like the Imogens, at all. The rest don't do anything. But Momotaros is just so annoying that it's grating. Now, once again, I get it. Den-O, comedy, I understand that. But I don't find the Imagins funny. I think their way of humor is obnoxious. Because it's just... Because, I'm sorry, I don't find... It's just... Yeah, the Imagins' way of humor is obnoxious. And if I hurt anyone that actually likes Den-O, I'm sorry but not sorry. But I don't find Sogo's uncle struggling for a moment while fixing the den liner with the other Imagins cheering him on and whatnot funny. I also just don't find Momotaros funny in general. First of all, he possesses gates, and it just makes... First of all, he possesses gates, and he just shows up there. Okay, let me properly explain more. While Sogo's uncle fixes the den liner, Momotaros is hanging out with them to help them out because another Den-O is there. Because another Den-O, which by the way, the brother is another Den-O, and the only reason why Momotaros wants to fight him is because he calls him some copycat and is completely dumb about it. And while like I said, Momotaros is possessing gates the entire time. And so Gates Revive has a fight. Actually a quite interesting fight scene, because this is one aspect about Den-O that is interesting. The camera work. There are some good shots when fights happen, and they're pretty interesting. Probably because it looks like it's being done with its early 2007 like drone shots. That's probably why. Wait, sorry, I just got a text. But yeah, like in the next episode too, like Momotaros, he possesses Waz, and I don't know, that's a little more interesting because Waz is a lot more composed and more calm. And so having Momotaros just possess him, and eventually Waz kicks Momotaros the fuck out of his body and just calls him stupid, it's the most satisfying and funniest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And oh my god, another big thing I'm going to have about it. So yeah. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Okay, well I'm still, oh crap, I still have to talk about the Imagins because later on, Climax Form shows up. Oh my god, I hate Climax Form. It just looks so cluttered. Dear God, just everything. Like, I don't have a problem with asymmetry, but first of all, it just starts off with the shoulder. My problem with it is first the shoulders. The asymmetry in the shoulders throw it off for me at first, which then leads me to hate everything else with the suit. But as soon as they went to Climax Form, I was just going, oh god, no. Why? Dear God, why? Anywho, but with this being the Final Form debut episode, I only have one more thing to add before talking about the Final Form. Okay, so my thing is Yuto. Alright, so Yuto this entire time has been wanting to defeat, well, more or less kill Sogo so that he doesn't obtain the ultimate power and become Omazeo. Now, like, overhearing Sogo him and Deneb overhearing Sogo sympathize, like, with another Deno, like, it gets to Deneb, but not Yuto. And later on, once everyone's fighting, which, by the way, this is something I also should have mentioned, that the boyfriend made a contract with an Imogen, and the contract was to go and save the brother. Yeah, the contract was to go and save his dead girlfriend's brother from from being a monster. And so the final battle in the episode, it leads them all, I guess, either in the past or it leads them all either in the past or the present. I think it leads them all back into the past because then the Imogen goes back to the day his sister died. And so the final battle goes there. My point is with Yuto is that his resolve to trust Sogo immediately, it just happened, and it came too quickly, and there's no real reason for him to do so. He's on a mission to beat him, and after hearing how he is, he didn't even care. And he even said that he didn't care, they're on a mission. Then he gets his final form because he changes his mind. It's just that whiplash just made no sense, is all. But anywho, Grand Zo, let's talk about our final form and how god awful it is. Grand Zo looks terrible, in my honest to God opinion. And this personally hurts me because gold is like one of my favorite colors. But everything else with this suit is just off. Like, and it's like, I swear, it looks like KamenRider Decades Complete Form and Gokai Silver Gold Mode had a baby and this is their child, because it's gold with all the entire body pictures of all of the Heisei riders, and it looks bad. It just looks so bad, and it's so standoffish and unappealing that, oh my, it just looks so bad. Gold's not a bad color, but the full body picture is just all over the body is just wrong. Like, you want to know why I like Gokai Silver Gold Mode? Yeah, it's bulky, but he just has all of the heads of the previous 6 Rangers, from Dragon Ranger to Gokai Silver himself. They're just all on the chest, and it's just the heads, and it changed in the visor. That's it. This is the entire body pictures. This is the entire bodies in frame all over the body, and it just looks so bad. Like Grand Zo, when wouldn't look so terrible if it was just, I don't know, maybe each previous rider's logo all over the body. That would look a bit better. It would give sort of a vibe back to Blade King form. But this just looks bad. It's just, and it makes it look ugly. It makes it look so, it also just makes it look ugly. Like, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. But For as bad as a form Grand Zo looks, its powers are fan fucking tastic. Because its powers are are fan fucking tastic, because he can summon he can summon any rider from any moment of time to do an attack and beat them. To like send He can summon any previous rider in any moment of time to do an attack for him. Like, here's how I give an example. He first touches wherever on his body that has the picture of Build to summon KamenRider Build, who is doing a rider kick right now from whatever moment in time into the present, and he then lands in to kick the monster. That is fantastic. He then does it again with Kuga and then with Gaim doing a sword finisher. Like, he can do that. He can also summon like all of them doing whatever type of attack for Grand Zio's ultimate finisher. And that's the pinnacle. That's a pinnacle of power. And it's amazing. It's so awesome that my jaw is dropping at the powers that he actually has. It's phenomenal. And this episode ultimately ends with Grand Zio and Oma Zio just meeting in person so that they can have a fight. Which now gets me excited about next week's episode. So overall, this Final Form debut was 50-50 in my opinion, because the Victim of the Week subplot is great, but the only bad part about it are the Imogens. Like, their obnoxiousness and stupidity is what brings down the Final Form debut. And yeah, I get it. The connection with Powers of Time and Den-O, still, it's just, I really don't like Den-O, and I really don't like the Imogens either. I find them to be annoying and obnoxious. And it's just, ugh, Lord. Anywho, so, like what I said, so, if I was to rate both these arcs right now, Kabuto is about average, and like what I said, 39 and 40, they're 50-50 for me. But of course, these are my opinions. If you guys think differently, then that's all you. So, whew. I have some more videos in mind right now that I can do. But at the moment, thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman. I'm sorry for the low activity for a while now, but I am back to making videos. I want to try to do that as well as balance my school life as well. I have plans for some ideas in the future, and so only time will tell how they'll go. With that said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.